But if you want to be a trader, the number one thing that you need to be as a trader is profitable. And by being profitable, you're not the biggest friend of the trading industry.
This is the next thing, because everyone just provides you the results of a positive week. Nobody is, telling you, hey, listen, there is also losses. And there's no trader, believe me, there's no trader that has
didn't experience those. Exactly. For sure. And came back. That's the most important part. No real trader did not come back from, there's no real trader that didn't have losses, and there's no trader that stayed a trader that didn't come back from them. So this is a constant comeback story here as well. It's like it's so interesting what you say, because the challenge is exactly in these things. And that's why the mindset part is also so relevant. But I don't talk about this, let's all be positive and the rest is going to solve itself for us, all this bro, you lost your fucking account, don't worry about it, you're gonna make it back, but how? You need to have a real reason to believe that. Obviously, be strong-minded, there's nothing wrong about it. Be positive, nothing wrong about it. But don't be naive. That's wrong. Because when you are naive, somebody else will take advantage of you, and that's what the industry does.
Exactly. So let's put it together. You would agree with me if I would say there is no only strategy, like there's no holy grail. No. You would agree with me. It's a long time, investment you have to do regards your education. You have to be someone that can adapt to different environment. And you basically need to be prepared, especially in the day trading industry.
One other thing I would want to add is that, they say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And that's very, very true in trading. You can make a shitload of money in a very short amount of time when these things come together. But you cannot expect for these things to stay together forever. So that's why you need.
Everyone
that's
had
why
this lucky catch. Let's be honest. Everyone had that lucky catch once.
But that's not lucky catch when you simplify it in what it is. But in reality, is you were fucking best prepared for that opportunity as it came, and then you milk it. You milk the hell out of it until it's working.
But those
and you don't die when it stops working. That's also why do you not risk the whole farm? So you fight to fight another day. That's so important.
Exactly, and I think trading is a long-term game. It has nothing to do with becoming rich quick. You will not become rich quick, like you said. If all the parameters coming together, and we had such coincidences. Let's be honest here. There was people that invested into Shiba Inu $10 and become millionaires. Is it the norm? Is it the people that is it the majority? No, it's not. So
and one other question, do you really know somebody? How much is that is really true?
Between me and you, I don't know anyone. I see some of them on YouTube. If that's all true.
I know long-term Bitcoin millionaires. I don't know Shiba Inu millionaires personally, at least.
I just don't know,
Question everything. Use common sense, and work from a position of understanding, training, knowledge. And then you will find your pocket will come where all these things align, and then you will be prepared, and you can really take money out of the market. And you're known as the number one who makes people fit for funding accounts, for example. Those opportunities are great. I really mean that, because you're essentially risking other people's money.
At the end of the day, what I always keep telling my guys is the following: milk it as long as you can, because nobody knows how long this kind of concept will exist. Markets change. Maybe tomorrow there is no companies that funds people. Who knows? But right now,
in my opinion, this only works because so many people pay for their challenges, and that's 100%. Really where the money comes from.
100%. But if you, like you say, if you're prepared and you know what you're doing, you can milk the cow.
It's like a lottery a little bit, the many pay the few. There's nothing bad per se with 100%, 100%. it. People will continue to gamble, whatever, because also, let's be honest, markets and trading are a bit of a gambling proxy. Instead of gambling on black and red, you basically black and red and white. You're gambling basically on the euro dollar or whatever. Most people do that, and again, no shame about that. You like that, your religion allows for it, whatever is your choice, I don't care. But being a trader is not that.
No, I mean, now we spoke about becoming a trader. So we said you need a strategy, you need to be there long term, and so on and so forth. But what does you make stay a trader? You know,
I would say, after you've become a trader, meaning successfully also made money, you need to be very protective of your capital. Your capital is your lifeblood, you know. So if you lose your capital, you start at zero, you know, and it's okay to start from zero repeatedly in the build-up phase. But once you reach a certain level, you should not bounce back that low again. Because it will be infinitely more difficult. Also, you don't know when the next opportunity of alignment is going to come up in that extent that allowed you to make thousands of percentages, for example. Exactly. So the next thing is then, this is really the time where you need to be a researcher of different new strategies, maybe, and also very much attentive to risk management. How can I create risk-adjusted returns? You know, and that's a different type of game than how do I climb up the hill basically first.
Look, what I keep saying, everyone in my community, is that you can't win this game if you're not looking after your risk. Your risk management is everything. You will not, this is the thing with trading, you will not become an overnight millionaire, but if you keep doing what you're doing on a daily basis, calculated risk, you will in the game. And this is what I realized with me. I don't make tons of money, you know what I mean? It's not like that I'm making every day $1 million, you know, such bullshit. That's not going to happen. But I make much more than regular people that goes every day to work.
And also, that's another thing, guys. One thing in trading that most people also confuse, you're not paid by the hour. You know, it doesn't, you don't need to stay in front of 1,000 screens for 10 hours a day. That's not actually, there's very few people I know that can act, or actually long-term, no, not a single person I know, you know. And also another thing I would look into once you've reached a certain size of capital is more systematic strategies, are more rule-based, less discretionary. Discretionary means where you make personal choices, you know. Systematic means there's back-tested, extremely well-refined rules that you work a lot on the process of refining these rules to adapt them to new market dynamics.
And if they hit your parameters, then you basically
so a lot more of these things become your day in, day out. That's a lot more what I do, you know, like I don't that's why I told you I'm not a day trader warrior for a long time, actually, to be honest, anymore. And again, I don't think one is good, the other is bad, or any of these things. You can continue. If you are an extremely great day trader, you will not continue to grow your account endlessly, though. You will maybe continue to have, I don't know, 100 grand in day trading or whatever, and keep pulling out of that account, but then really pull out of that account.
Exactly. So,
and then
there is like being or staying a trader is actually all about risk. It's about risk, like you said.
Risk and strategy, yeah.
Exactly, and strategy, you know, to find the right strategy that works for you, works for your environment, works for your family
life, capital.
You know? Exactly. Works also for your mentality, because this is something that many people don't see. You know, when people come and join my community, they always ask me the same question: how long is it going to take to become a trader? And how much can I earn? And the next question is often, really often, can you show me the strategy? And I always keep saying the same. There is not the strategy, because you need to find out what kind of strategy fits your mentality.
That reminds me of something, and I seen the other day. Alex Hormozy, you know, I like the guy. He has nothing to do with trading at all, but he's a fantastic entrepreneur and a very bright mind that you can listen to. So he said one of his friends asked him, can you look at my company and what I do? I want to make $5 million more per year without putting in extra work, you know? And so they sat down and they analyzed the business and blah, 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 blah. And at some point, they really found a way how that someone was able to increase their income for a number of millions for a year without adding more work. And the takeaway for Alex was that he said, asking the right question. He said, if anybody had asked me, how can I make $5 million a year? There's a million answers to that. But the question, the constraint of the question was, how can I make more millions from my existing business without doing extra work? that they needed to specify. That's really what trading is about. You need to be specific in every little thing that you do. And if you're not getting where you want to be, you're not asking the right specific questions. So the quality of your questions determine the quality of your results. I know that's very broadly spoken, but let that sink in, guys, really, and act from that perspective, and it's going to bring you a lot more further where you really want to be. You know, if your goal is to make money fast and find out which are the highest risk, highest paying strategies out there, what do I need to do in order to have a chance of succeeding with them? You know, and exactly the question you ask really determines what strategy, like what approach you need to take to reach that answer. But if your answer is too broad and too unrealistic and too unspecific, you're just gonna be, you know, one of these millions of guys that lose to the broker. And that's why the broker loves to make money from losses.
Exactly. Last but not at least, something that I just realized with many people, especially when they come from the regular working environment, you know, from the 9-to-5 jobs, because you said something really, really important that I want to emphasize, is the fact that many people think more makes more. You know,
that's not true.
If you put more hours in at the screen, you will make more money.
It's not correlated linearly, not at all.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like if I would really put all the hours together that I'm actually at the market, probably I will not even hit 2 hours a day. You know, like really actually being at the market, analyzing the market, and 2 hours already is pretty much a lot a day. You know what I mean?
But also because you worked your way there, you know exactly what you do in these hours. You're very efficient. You have a clear structure, all of these things.
It's systematic. You know what I mean? I know, for example, that's just an example of many. I know I will wait for the 4-hour candle, see if it gets into a resistance that is a major resistance, for example, and then get involved. You know, if I get the confirmation.
That's very important what you say there. It can be simple. Also, just as much as hours don't correlate with success, complexity doesn't correlate with success necessarily either.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you look at screens of some people, you think you're looking at the, you know, science. You know, this is another thing.
I mean, there's funny memes about that.
Yeah, mate, like there's, you know, some people, they put like 20 indicators in, you know, like I always keep saying to my people, indicators are just a help for you. You know what I mean? Maybe.
And they're just a different way of showing the price. They're not, there's not magic in there.
Exactly. There's no magic. It's just helping you. You know what I mean?
It's based on the same quotes and the same prices, you know.
I think that's the point, you know. Let's put this together. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we can agree on one thing, that becoming a trader is a long journey, but eventually, if you keep going, if you control your risk, if you look at the right strategy for yourself, you can be someone of those 5%.
Probably easier to become one of these 5% than in any major sport or in any science or in any of these things.
But you know what I realized? All in all, you need to have the long breath. You know, without that
100%.
long breath, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, even if you change the industry, you want to be successful in e-commerce, you want to be successful, it doesn't matter. You need to have this long breath. And this is what I realized. And I don't want to blame anyone, but I'm realizing we're living in a society because what happens is everything is accessible very fast. Everyone wants to succeed very quick. And a lot of people, they're getting, you know, distracted from reality, because I can give you a last example. Some people, they make like 200, $300 within 1 hour. And they don't realize, come on, guys, some people, they work in some countries 30 hours for this kind of money. So there is sometimes a gap for those people, you know, between reality and what can I make really at the market. You know,
I also think that we're now living in a phase of history, let's call it, where short-term dopamine-based type of behavior, more and more people come to the realization it's the way how addictive social media works. And that's the way why a whole generation has been conditioned like that, but that it's not really the truth to the answers everybody's yearning for. And if you want to, again, have different results, different answers, you've got to change your questioning and you've got to change your approach. And if you just want to satisfy short-term needs, then you're never going to build something with a real, solid footing and ground. And
definitely,
I think that now more and more, even the people working in the social media companies are realizing that they're losing value because of that. Just look at what happened to Facebook, where they've been and where they are. Even now, what's happening with Google versus ChatGPT, like how quickly an unbreakable leader in an industry can really get into trouble is because of that. When people realize something, they change their behavior. And I think that we're a little bit in a pivotal moment where more and more people will realize that the short-term type of approach is going to get them into trouble. It's going to make them addicted to something that is fake. And the more people, that's actually a very important message I'd like to put out here. The sooner you realize that, the more successful you will get, and the faster you will get successful.
I mean, it's nothing else than, some people nowadays call it escaping the matrix. You know what I mean?
More or less.
Call it whatever you like. At the end of the day, if you don't sit down and outwork all the others, if you don't put the extra effort in, you will not succeed. Maybe you have another sleepless night, but at the end of the day, that's something that I can say for myself. The only way how I got there where I am now is the fact that I outworked many of my competitors, and many of others, that are not willing to put in the work. And
outworking, by the way, again, is not only ours, but it's also ours, especially in the beginning.
Exactly, it's also ours, but it's not only ours. It's only I would say it's
smart also at some point.
It's the focus too, don't let yourself getting distracted from too many bullshit on social media. Because this is the major reason why.
Yes, valid advice.
Fail, a lot of people, they see another strategy and, they say, oh, maybe this is something for me, but you haven't even sat down 2 months. How can you find out if it's the right thing for you? I mean, but at the end of the day, I think we can speak another.
I think there's like many, many more topics we can delve into in other episodes. It's it's an endless topic. And, I guess if we get some feedback, also, we can pretty much get into very specific topics by request.
Exactly, by request. And also, like planning, or my planning with you together is, of course, to get some other guests, other perspectives, other traders. I have been already with some of them, in conversations, and they like
also
that.
So people can see, the audience can see that there's so many roads lead to Rome. Exactly. There's so many different types of traders and strategies and successes out there.
Alex, all I can say, thank you for the session.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm happy, to have you back on board, after a long journey with you together.
I'm living and breathing.
Exactly. I hope to see you soon again. So guys, thank you for listening. I'm going to see you,
thank you guys,
for the next episode. If you like what you saw, just hit the like button, of course, and let's participate.
For the algorithm.
Exactly, for the algorithm, to push social media on the right way.
People see us and hear us, basically.
Exactly. Alex, all the best. Have
same to you, my friend.
A lovely evening in Cyprus. I'm going to enjoy my son in Dubai. All the best, my friend. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Soon.